Science has developed a new industry in the United States. Asiatic Angora rabbits are raised exclusively for their fur. Today you can have a home on the range with a rabbit ranch right in your own backyard. Every 9 weeks, the fur is clipped and sold as Angora wool at prices of from $4 to $6 per pound according to its length and texture. On a perch just large enough to keep it from turning around, the rabbit is clipped by experienced hands in 5 minutes. And when the job is done, he resembles last year's Easter bunny or Junior's roughed-up toy. Today, there are over 300 professional growers in Southern California alone, and the fur flies in a profitable flurry all the year round. Some producers, not content to merely sell their raw material, do their own spinning, turning their wool into Angora yarn used extensively in the manufacture of various articles of wearing apparel. Knitted Angora dresses and ensembles, silky Angora sweaters. Much of baby's wardrobe is made from the coats of backyard bunnies. Fleecing the rabbit of its fur has become a scientific and profitable pastime. Beautiful beach blankets and snazzy swimsuits are the real Angora. Some bunny. While steamship travel becomes more and more popular, few of the thousands of people who ride the seas in home-like comfort are aware of the numerous scientific devices that constantly assure their safety under efficient officers and a capable captain. A recent innovation is this motor-driven rotating porthole glass. It is always clear as its whirling motion keeps it free from moisture, rain, sleet, and snow. The turning of the wheel on this device rotates a directional receiving aerial above the ship, which picks up radio signals that are heard through the operator's headset. And the intersection of these lines on a chart indicates the ship's position in relation to distant land stations or other ships. In case of fire, this mechanism sets in motion letters and numbers, which indicate the ship's cabins and compartments, and as they stop, they mark the fire's exact location. The several utility compasses in different parts of the vessel are operated to synchronize with the great master gyro compass below decks. The two officers are comparing the steering compass with the master compass, and when both mechanisms correspond, one officer on the bridge ties off the manual steering wheel, while the other throws an interlocking lever, causing the ship to automatically steer itself. Almost every detail of the liner's operation is visible to those in charge. This device records the action of the ship's rudder. Right and left, the swing of the rudder registers in accurate degrees. The small white figure above indicates the ship's position, and its complete course is recorded in red. This pictorial inspection of the bridge in the interests of popular science is considered a rare privilege. Though they still call it a kitchen, popular scientific equipment has wrought a change in the old cook shop. Today, it's more like a culinary museum, a room where your guests may view your gadgets. One of the latest trinkets is built like a one-arm handcuff, and what it does to the dome of a hard-boiled egg. Scalpin', I calls it, but it's a slick accessory for folks who like their hen fruit on the half shell. The new chromium kitchen tongs are more convenient than a fork. They make a surer, faster pickup and protect the hands from grease and heat. For hot cakes and waffles, the new dripless drip dropper, a mechanical genius that sweetens your appetite with top trigger judgment and valve in the bottom control. And that's the lowdown. A hollow metal rolling pin for the use of men as well as women. The rolling pin, for years the housewife's friend and defender, can now be used by her husband as a cocktail shaker. An ice-cold rolling pin doesn't stick to dough, and it's a lighter weapon. Pitting cherries for pies by hand makes the pitter's fingers look pitiful. The plunger on this gadget does a better job in less time. Hand-pitted cherries look crushed and futile. In fact, they're a mess. This doodad leaves them clean and whole. And pitted and potted in pie crust, they present as pretty a pastry picture as ever palpitated a prospective palate. The Avenue of the Roses, in a garden spot of California that owes its existence to the untiring efforts of one man, 74-year-old Father George Shaner. His diligent study in the laboratory as well as in the garden has enabled him by the crossing of various plants to produce 256 entirely new varieties of roses. In a small box, Father Shaner carries pollen from one plant to another. He does not plant or hybridize at random, leaving results to chance, but by careful analysis predetermines which of those characters he desires to develop and which to retard. Father Shaner is a man whose intense love of beauty has caused him to spend his entire life glorifying nature. no unusual achievement in floral development seems too remote or difficult for the padre of the roses. Among his most unusual specimens is one of the world's rare flowers, a rose of velvety black named for his friend, the late Chief Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes. Rose trees, 20 to 25 feet high, adorning the world's most scientific garden of beautiful roses, are the pride of this venerable man of the flowers. Specializing in the removal of various articles from the human anatomy, Dr. T.J. Ruddy of Los Angeles inspects X-ray photographs. This one shows the location of a missing clock wheel. For 37 years, Dr. Ruddy has been making startling discoveries and miraculous extractions. A jack lodged in this youngster's windpipe looms up like an X to mark the spot of its location. The doctor has handled over 3,000 cases of sudden disappearance and often solves from 8 to 10 mysteries a day. Though an extremely scientific and delicate operation is required, the procedure is practically painless, and an anesthetic is rarely given, as natural respiration is desirable. There are over 7,000 different retrieving instruments, and as each unforeseen emergency demands the manufacture of some new or special device, the variety continues to increase. X-ray and fluoroscope aid the surgeon and his assistants in viewing the interior of the patient's chest cavity, where a safety pin is entirely out of place. Two fluoroscopes provide both vertical and lateral views of the object through the patient's chest and side. The doctor opens the larynx to permit the introduction of the bronchoscope, a hollow tubular instrument through which the operation is performed. It is provided with an electric bulb which illuminates the region of operation. Looking through the viewing screen, an assistant guides the doctor in placing the operating tube close to the pin. Its location is now determined, and long forceps with flexible cable control are inserted through the tube, and the grappling prongs at the end begin to work down toward the pin. The instrument, especially made for the purpose, is guided in its progress by the assistant's observations made through the viewing screen, while the doctor views his own operations through the illuminated operating tube. As he cautiously maneuvers the grappling prongs on a line with the object, the assistant indicates a position for more direct contact. The sharp point of the pin in contact with the surrounding delicate membranes is extremely dangerous. But with remarkable cleverness, Dr. Ruddy grasps the pin and closes it. He then draws it safely into the operating tube. The extraction is a success, for up comes the time-honored emblem of kids who wear three-cornered pants. This display shows the variety of odds and ends retrieved by Dr. Ruddy. Modern science reverses the old saying, and what goes down must come up, even though the hall includes a stock of general merchandise. By relieving people of present danger and fear of future consequences, men like Dr. Ruddy become indispensable to humanity, and science continues to grow in popularity. Worried about his hair, this gentleman uses the latest device to preserve and restore it. The machine is electrically operated. Alternate vacuum and pressure is created in the helmet, causing blood to rush to the scalp and nourish the hair follicles. Frequent repetition stimulates circulation and growth of hair. Apparently, it's a real hair razor. Looking back to May 1913, we find registered in the United States Patent Office a mechanical device to actually plant hair in the head. If the hair gun worked, a bald-headed customer merely requested a few shots of new hair plants. The fact that this invention had a direct bearing on the subject brought immediate response. Designed to dig a tiny hole, plant a live hair, and fill in around the roots in a single operation, hairless Henrys of that day fairly wept for joy. Huge forests sprang up in a few sittings. Crooked transplantations were bound to occur, but the pioneers made few mistakes. And though they couldn't make it stick, it's still a swell idea.